What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. This is my weekly gaming news show, so let's talk about the games. So the first story we want to talk about this week is cross-platform play on PlayStation. And if you're not aware of this, there's a lot of games that you can play cross-platform on Xbox, on PC. You can even play some games cross-platform on the Nintendo Switch. But PlayStation continues to be the one holdout. The PlayStation 4 does not have cross-platform, and they refuse to give in to cross-platform. And we've seen statements from them before saying, we've heard your request, we know that companies want this, we know that players want this, we're just not ready for it. Well, now we have a major player applying lots and lots of pressure onto PlayStation, and that's the folks over at Bethesda. I'm really glad to be able to say something positive about Bethesda in this episode because I had to say something very negative about Bethesda early in the week. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. But Bethesda has said that they would very much like to have cross-platform play on Fallout 76, said that it was not a possibility because, quote, PlayStation is not being as helpful as they would like, end quote. But with a major game like Fallout 76, they're going to bring it to the PlayStation no matter what. But when it comes to their game, Elder Scrolls Legends, they have said they simply will not bring the game to the PlayStation platform because crossplay is integral to that game. There is absolutely no way they could release that game on the PlayStation 4 and have it be a closed environment. Now, if you've ever played a card game like Elder Scrolls Legends before, you'll know why this is the case. This game has already been out for a year on iPad and on PC. People have built up a collection. So in order for them to download it on the PlayStation and start over, that's just not something they're going to be willing to do. And then on top of that, the player base for a card game like this can be very, very small. You want a very populated card base. And even though the PlayStation is the #1 best-selling console right now, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to get a match unless you're getting matched against PC players and Xbox players alike. But Pete Hines from Bethesda basically explained the situation, saying that cross-platform progression, which means no matter what you do on any platform, you load up the game, and so long as you're logged in, here's all your progression, here's everything you had, and everything you were doing. And as a card game player, I think Pete Hines is absolutely correct about this, but I think it's also true when it comes to Fallout 76. And I think it was true when Epic was talking about this with Fortnite, and it was true with Rocket League, and it was true with Minecraft. With any progression-based game, they need to be cross-plays because people play on multiple devices. If a game is available on your PC or your phone, it should also be available to be played on Xbox and PlayStation. The PlayStation is the only holdout still at this point, and I'm glad that Bethesda is putting pressure on them. Refusing to bring your card game to the PlayStation is really not that big of a deal because I can't imagine the audience for that would be very large. However, if it was Fallout 76 they refused to bring to the PlayStation, that's the kind of pressure we need from you folks over at Bethesda. That's the kind of thing that would make a change. But I personally think it doesn't really matter what PlayStation does at this point. I think it really comes down to the consumer at this point, whether or not we continue to support PlayStation, continue to buy cross-platform needing games on their system, whether or not we're letting them know via social media. You need to let them know via social media if cross-platform and cross-play is important to you. So this is me officially doing that, okay? Sony, I love you. PlayStation, I've always loved you. I love your products. I love your games. I love what you guys do over there. But get your shit together. Hashtag crossplay on Twitter. Now, this week's video is sponsored by the folks over at NordVPN, the #1 VPN, the one I use and the one I recommend. Now, if you're somebody who connects to Wi-Fi outside of your home all the time, let me tell you something. Having a VPN on your phone, on your devices is absolutely imperative, especially if you're starting a new job, if you're going back to school, if you're going to be doing it in high school, if you're going to be doing it on your campus, you're going to want a VPN to protect your information. I can speak from experience. It is so easy for someone to get your banking information, your passwords, or any of your information when you're connecting to that dorm Wi-Fi, that work Wi-Fi, that restaurant Wi-Fi. You don't want to be connecting to that stuff without a VPN. And the reason I use a VPN is to keep my data safe, but there's a lot of other really great perks when it comes to stuff like file sharing or accessing content in other countries. There's a lot of good reasons to have a VPN. And the reason I use NordVPN is because they have 4,800 servers in 62 different countries with 24/7 customer support. I mean, honestly, you can't beat them. They are the best VPN out there, period. So do me a favor, go to nordvpn.com/boogie and check it out now. And if you do that and you sign up for a 3-year plan, you'll get a 77% discount that comes out to $2.75 a month. That's the plan I have, and I highly recommend it. So speaking of Bethesda and card packs, Fallout 76 has card packs. That's how you get your perks. That's how you get your abilities. You get them from card packs. Now, a lot of people have asked me to talk about this, so let's get into it. So to begin with, you will get one of these card packs which contain 4 cards every 2 levels early on in the game. Later on in the game, you'll get a card pack every 5 levels. Again, unlocking 4 cards, and those cards will have different perks and different things that you can do. For example, here's one of the strength-based cards that you can equip into the strength slot. It's called Gladiator, and it increases your one-hand melee weapons as you use them and as you level up the card. Then for players who become highly irradiated, there's actually mutations that you can pick up. And these mutations make you and stuff like a kangaroo or a bird and give you some really unique effects. That actually sounds really fascinating to me. And under charisma, that's where you're going to see a lot of the social stuff. For example, one of the cards they showed allowed you to become a quack surgeon. It allowed you to resurrect other players by using liquor. That's kind of cool. And then apparently people who invest in charisma will also be able to share cards with other players. So you meet somebody with high charisma, they can teach you one of their skills they have. And apparently, according to the team, there are literally hundreds of cards to collect. But the good news is when you level up, you'll be able to assign a point to an attribute and then be able to pick a perk that you want underneath that attribute. So you'll be able to guide it a little bit. Now, if you ask me, this seems like a system that is ripe for exploit. This seems like a system that would have immediately had you buying card packs. The good news is the team has said you cannot purchase card packs ever. At any point, you'll never be able to pull out a credit card and purchase card packs. And while there will be microtransactions in Fallout 76, they will never allow you to gain access to these card skills or packs. Now, according to a no-clip documentary about Fallout 76, those microtransactions are going to be cosmetic only, though what they are and the pricing is still completely under wraps. But according to that documentary, it will only be cosmetic stuff, so you can ignore them entirely. Now, as a fan of the Fallout series, I have to say the perk system is what always made the games really interesting to me, and Fallout 4 fell very flat when it came to the perk system, same way Skyrim did. There just wasn't a lot of weird or unique stuff there, and it looks like they are putting the weird and the unique back into Fallout 76, which is good. I mean, that's very good to me. So I'm interested in this system. I wish it was a perk tree instead of a card system, but I'm willing to give it a chance. But I guess if I do get to pick a card every time I level up, then that's kind of like a skill tree system, so I think I'll be okay with it. But I'm curious as to what you think. Presuming that they never go back on their word here, and presuming they never try to sell you these card packs, what do you think about this as a progression system for Fallout 76? Does it make you less interested, more interested, or you want to avoid the game entirely because of it? Let me know in the comments section below. And then finally, and this rumor just dropped as I was filming this, it looks like Diablo 3 is coming to the Switch. Now, we do know that Blizzard was like ramping up to work on a new Diablo game, as well as a possible Diablo port, and this seemed like a no-brainer because it's on pretty much every other platform. But look at this screenshot. Here, let me blow this up for you. But not only is Diablo 3 coming to your Switch, but they are doing some special stuff with it, including, yes, that is Ganondorf as a playable character in Diablo 3. Oh my god. So obviously we knew for BlizzCon this year there was going to be a bunch of Diablo news. They've been hiring up developers to work for a Diablo project. This seemed like a no-brainer, and I'm really glad they're doing it, but I had no clue that there might be special features for the Switch version. But then I guess we'll know for sure come BlizzCon, or hopefully they'll confirm these rumors in the next few days. At the very, very least, I'm calling it. Diablo 4 is what they're announcing at BlizzCon this year. And I can't wait to play it. Hopefully they learned their lessons from Diablo 3 and we'll get a really good Diablo 4. But as for this rumor, it's all but confirmed. And I want to say thank you to the Forbes author who accidentally posted this article about a month early. Thanks for clicking that send button a little too early. We appreciate you. All right, that's going to do it for this week's weekly gaming news segment. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. And let me know if you did in the comment section below. And while you're down there, don't forget to check out our sponsor, NordVPN, if you want to keep your data safe as you're going back to school or as you're going back to work or start a new job or whatever it is you're doing this fall. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you again soon.